CCTV footage inside a quiet home recently captured something strange that left both the owners and viewers online disturbed. It starts off innocently enough, with the family dog wandering out of a room in the middle of the day. Just as the dog passes through the doorway, the gate-style doors begin to close on their own, slowly narrowing the frame. Nobody else is seen in the footage, no drafts are evident, and the dog immediately stops in its tracks, as if it senses something unnatural. The odd behavior of the animal paired with the unexplained movement of the gate left many unsettled. What makes this clip even stranger is that the owners claim this wasn't the first time their dog had acted unusual near that exact doorway. They said he often barked at it late at night or refused to cross it unless coaxed, something they had previously chalked up to pet anxiety. But after reviewing this footage, they aren't so sure anymore. Some viewers suggested the dog was reacting to a presence unseen by humans, while others speculated it could be tied to the home's history. Either way, the uneasy reaction of the dog makes the unexplained movement of the doors feel less like a coincidence and more like a sign of something lurking in the house. CCTV footage from the same home continued to raise alarm only a few nights later. This time, the family's dog was resting inside its cage, which was considered its safe spot where it usually felt most comfortable.
Hey, just want to hop on here and explain some things about the ghost and my dog. So my dog is crate trained from his previous owner. That's the safe spot. That's where he goes when it's chaos in the house with all the children, or we have company that he doesn't like. He just goes in there and chills. So that's why he sleeps in his crate. It's his safe spot. Anyway, so what you didn't see in this video is after these slight movements of the door handle, he gets up, he's wagging his tail, he is ready to go. He only starts whimpering when it doesn't open for him. So I come out, make him go potty, and you would not know anything was wrong with him. He is ready to go back in that crate. He fell asleep. I checked the camera. That night, there have been a few other things happening in the house. If you look at my older videos, and he is super chill in like the door video. And as far as the kitchen video, we have had so many things get pushed off of that countertop, and he gobbles it up. He gobbles it up. He is there waiting for it to fall. And so I think him and the ghost are like BFFs for life, or afterlife. Just had to put that dad joke in there. Sorry. Anyway, he's fine.
At first, everything appeared normal until the handle of the cage suddenly twitched, making the dog sit up straight and fix its gaze on the movement. For a moment, nothing else happened, but then the handle shifted again, this time pushing itself back down. The dog stayed frozen, ears perked and body tense, clearly aware something wasn't right. As the clip goes on, the crate door handle keeps moving in small but deliberate motions, as if someone unseen were tampering with it. Many viewers began speculating that this could be tied to a past owner, possibly one who had passed away, returning in some unsettling way to interact with the animal. Claymore had grown used to the uneasy feeling of being alone in his house late at night, but the basement always carried a different kind of weight. It was a place he avoided unless necessary, filled with old boxes, pipes, and shadows that seemed to stretch longer than they should. At 4:53 in the morning, he found himself wide awake when the sound of heavy knocks echoed from the basement door. This wasn't the first time he'd heard it, but on this particular night, he decided to capture the proof.
Alright, so that right there is my basement door, right? I'm downstairs by myself. It's like 4:53 in the morning, and I just started hearing that. I have no idea what it is, but I'm down here by myself. Everybody's sleeping, just me. Ain't the first time I heard this shit either.
As he held his camera, the banging grew more distinct, and it was very hard to miss. What made it worse was his certainty that nobody else was in the house. Claymore admitted later into the clip that the sounds had happened before, often in the dead of night when silence made every echo worse. Whether it was coincidence, pipes, or something paranormal trying to reach out, he couldn't shake the dread of knowing the basement seemed to be alive with its own intentions. The next day, Claymore was working late at his PC when the familiar sound returned. The basement door began to knock again, steady and deliberate, pulling his attention away from the glow of his monitor. At first, he tried to ignore it, but the noise persisted until he finally stood, grabbing his camera as proof.
Alright, you guys are in luck. You wanted it, right? There it is. Ain't me knocking on shit. Ain't nobody down here, right? Now, you guys are gonna say, oh, it's somebody in there, it's an animal. Nope. Let's go. So who's down here? Nobody. Nobody down here? Nobody downstairs? I don't want to hear none of that bullshit about, oh, it's somebody. Ain't f***ing. We hear that shit every single night.
He walked slowly toward the door, his steps hesitant. With one hand, he pulled it open, flicked on the light, and revealed the stairs leading to the basement. Heart pounding, he began his descent, his camera catching every creak of the steps as he scanned the space below. The basement was silent. Nothing out of place, no sign of movement or presence. After pacing around and confirming nobody was hiding, he turned back and walked up the stairs, shutting the door behind him. The unease lingered, though, and the sense that something had wanted him down there, but disappeared the moment he arrived. After this, he thought the ordeal was over, but only a short while later, the noises returned. This time, the sound wasn't coming from the basement door, but from the bathroom wall. It started as faint thuds and quickly turned into aggressive knocking that seemed to echo through the small space.
Alright, so I was hearing that knocking again, right? Except this time it's coming from that wall right there, which is my downstairs bathroom. And after a while I started hearing tapping on the bathroom door as well. So, what else? Record. See if anything else happens. I mean, I hear the shit every night. It's okay, that's never happened before. Now I have to go check it out, otherwise you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's probably somebody in there. Let's go see. I'll show you guys right now. Ain't nobody in this mother. And it is empty. Yeah, no, that one was weird. That's never actually happened before. That's new, at least.
He turned his camera toward the bathroom, and through the small crack of the door, The light inside could be seen flicking on and off, almost as if someone was toying with the switch from within. Gathering what courage he had left, he got up, pushed the door open, and stepped inside with the camera. The bathroom was completely empty, nothing out of place, no reason for the sounds or the lights to behave that way. Shaken to his core, he's now seriously considering moving out, knowing his sense of safety has been completely taken from the home. Patrick had always hated going into his basement, but one night curiosity got the better of him. He unlocked the basement door, shut it firmly behind him, and started recording as he walked into the strange, unfinished space. The concrete walls and dim lighting gave it the unsettling look of something straight out of the back rooms, stretching into a narrow corridor that seemed far too long for a house basement. As he made his way down, the camera caught a shadow suddenly dashing across behind the corner at the very end of the hallway. His breathing quickened as he crept forward, determined to see what it was. But when he turned the corner, there was nothing there, just more empty walls and silence pressing in around him. The clip ends before anything else happens, but Patrick later explained that seconds after cutting the camera, fear overtook him and he bolted up the stairs, convinced that something was following close behind. A family had been searching tirelessly for their missing cat, putting up flyers, calling shelters, and setting up trail cameras around their property in the hopes of spotting it. Most nights the cameras picked up nothing unusual, just wind moving through the grass or the occasional animal passing by. But one evening, while the parents were working in the garage, one of the trail cams triggered, and what it captured left them speechless. The footage showed a strange white apparition suddenly appearing at the edge of the frame. At first glance, it looked like a mist, but when paused, the outline was far too defined. It resembled the shape of a human, faint and pale. The clip cut off just as the figure fully entered the shot, giving viewers no chance to see what might have happened next. The family was shaken, insisting that no one else was outside at the time. Their cat never returned, and with no explanation for the ghostly image, they've been left wondering if its disappearance is connected to something far more unsettling. At first, it seemed like a normal workday for the man, clocking into his shift and heading toward the lockers in the back room. Nothing out of the ordinary had happened all morning, and he wasn't expecting anything either. But while walking past the row of metal lockers, one of them slowly creaked open all by itself.
¿Por qué haces esto? ¿En qué puedo ayudarte? ¿Qué necesitas? Dime, ¿necesitas algo? ¿En qué puedo ayudarte? Pero no me hagas esto. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte?
He sat down and stayed there in disbelief for a moment, then nervously asked out loud how he could help and what the ghost needed from him. Almost as if in direct response, the locker door slowly shut again, this time leaving a slight crack, as though inviting him to keep engaging. Unsure, he asked again, wanting to see if it was truly connected to something paranormal. That's when the door suddenly swung open again, only to slam shut with far more force than before. His shock was obvious, and though he didn't run, he quickly backed away from the row of lockers. Later, he told his manager everything, showing the footage as proof. His manager has since confirmed they are waiting on an official investigation into what exactly is happening back there, leaving everyone at the workplace on edge. Mattie had been spending a quiet evening at home when she started to hear strange noises outside. At first, it sounded almost like a man mumbling, low and muffled, but she couldn't quite make out the words. Curiosity and a touch of fear got the better of her, so she grabbed a flashlight and her phone before stepping out the front door, shutting it firmly behind her.
Hearing the craziest noises. Listen. I gotta check this out. Ruby. Where the f did it go? What the Oh my God. Hello? Is anyone there? Oh my God. Holy shit. Thought I heard those noises again.
I heard them last night.
I didn't see anything, but I wanted to just look.
Probably just an animal or something.
Yeah. I keep seeing all those cats.
The camera picked up the sound of bushes rustling nearby, and Mattie moved quickly, scanning around them with her light, her voice shaky as she tried to call out. Just when she thought maybe it was nothing, she spun around while still recording, and in that pan across the yard, the lens caught something ducking back behind a tree. The figure moved fast enough that it could almost be dismissed, but its shape was far too uncanny to ignore. Afterwards, Mattie's boyfriend insisted that it was probably just an animal startled by the flashlight. Still, Mattie couldn't shake the feeling that what she saw wasn't any animal at all. Hugo and two of his friends had always laughed at the idea of ghosts, so when they heard about a supposedly haunted house nearby, they decided to go check it out for themselves. None of them expected much, other than just a night of fun, a little adrenaline, and maybe a good story to tell afterward. When they entered the building, they found it in shambles, with broken furniture, dust, and debris scattered everywhere. They explored room after room, joking and pointing out the eerie state of the place, still convinced nothing supernatural would come of it.
Loco, pero porque yo tengo que ir al frente. Vengan, culero. Loco, espérate. ¿Por qué no se puede? Loco, yo siento como que alguien los está viendo de adentro. Aquella. Mío. Dale, loco, vete al frente.
Ella lo tiene gente como que anda en El Salvador, ¿no? Le digo algo, Hugo. Como yo soy el único que no está grabando. ¿Tú estás grabando? Nosotros dos somos los que vamos a ver esto más rápido que mira, grafiten hecho ahí, qué vergüenza. Esta mierda. No, voy aquí, debe haber todo. Dale, loco, vamos. Ya. Con respeto, no conocemos, sí. Es que mira cómo está.
Güey, esta mierda se nos va a caer encima.
Dale, dale,
ten cuidado, viejo. Tengan cuidado donde pisan, loco.
Para todos lados, ¿no? Ey, loco, tú me siento como que ando en El Salvador, loco. Le digo algo, Hugo. Como yo soy el único que no está grabando. ¿Tú estás grabando? Nosotros dos somos los que vamos a ver esto más rápido que mira, grafiten hecho ahí, qué vergüenza. Esta mierda. No, voy aquí, debe haber todo al rato. Dale, loco, vamos. ¿Qué pasó, loco? Este man, que comemos, bro.
Golpeado, man.
Ey, pero no lo va a caer este techo, güey.
No, man, también me lo va a caer encima. Bueno, ellos no quieren estar, mira cómo está todo eso así.
Sí, pues las tablas no creo un fierro lo que tiene, loco.
But at the very end of their footage, a brief and chilling image appeared. A faint figure, resembling a ghostly woman, seemed to be standing inside the building with them. Her outline was visible enough to send shivers down viewers' spines, but the group themselves hadn't noticed it at the time. They left the house still laughing, unaware of how close they might have actually come to something paranormal. What they dismissed as a harmless adventure may have been far more real than they realized. HRJ Paranormal Adventures uploaded a video titled Part 2 of 3 Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, continuing their exploration of the infamous location. The team had already captured unsettling activity in the first part, and this segment only added more fuel to the fire.
So, do you know who was down the hall that was touching all the people?
As one of the women entered a room, she panned her camera slowly around to show viewers what it looked like inside. At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, just another empty space in a decaying hospital. But if you paid close enough attention, something chilling could be spotted. Behind the glass, faint but unmistakable, sat the figure of a woman in an office chair. Her presence lasted only for a moment, turning away before fading completely as the camera swept across her. The team didn't seem to notice at the time, but the replay made it impossible to ignore. Viewers flooded the comments with their own theories, convinced that this was one of the clearest captures the group had ever recorded. HRJ Paranormal Adventures confirmed that this investigation wasn't over yet, and that the story would continue in their future videos, so be sure to subscribe and watch my videos so you don't miss it. On Thursday, August 10th of 2015, a corner store security camera recorded something that has left both staff and viewers disturbed. At first, the footage seemed normal, showing empty aisles late at night, but then it became clear something strange was happening. A strange, oversized shadow-like blob began moving across the shelves, not in the shape of a person, but something far more unnatural. As it shifted along, items began to fall over without anyone touching them, including things such as produce rolling across the floor, random balls moving on their own, and smaller goods scattering down the aisle. The employees who reviewed the tape the next day were shaken, unsure how to even begin explaining what they had seen. The manager, visibly stressed, admitted he was less concerned about whether it was paranormal and more focused on the aftermath. With merchandise all over the floor and customers starting to whisper about the haunting, he's been trying to find a cleanser willing to deal with the spirit in order to help banish it. Who knows how that will go, though. A babysitter was going about what she thought would be a normal night's work when she stumbled onto something she'll never forget. The kids were asleep, the house was quiet, but as she walked through some of the rooms, she noticed something strange.
I'm babysitting and I just found the creepiest thing. Look at this. Oh my god. No, but what is it? It's so creepy. It's freaking me out. Is this real hair? Oh my god. And look. Ugh. Guys, I just came in to make dinner and look what I found. Another one. Oh my gosh. It's a boy this time. Oh my god. Why would you look at that? Why would anyone have this in their house? Honestly, it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, it has another bell. Oh my god. Guys, guess who I am? The light started going insane. Let me show you. Okay, wait for it because it was literally just happening a second ago. Max? Better not be out of bed. Okay, I think I'm just gonna get him and go because it's really freaking me out.
There were two doll-like figures leaning face first against the wall in separate rooms, and what made it worse was that they both had real human hair attached to them. Unsettled but curious, she set up a camera facing a mirror, imitating one of the dolls to see if anything unusual would happen. What the footage showed shocked her massively. Reflected in the mirror, one of the dolls suddenly sprinted into another room despite being stationary in real life. After that, she began to notice their positions shifting around the house without her ever touching them. At that point, she decided enough was enough and made for the door. But before she could leave, every single light in the house suddenly turned off at once, plunging her into darkness. For the babysitter, what started as just another job became a nightmarish experience that still haunts her. The following footage wasn't filmed in a single night, but instead collected over the course of 2 months. It came from the security cameras of a man's home, where he had grown convinced something paranormal was going on. He wanted enough evidence to finally bring in professional help, so he kept his cameras rolling constantly, documenting everything he could. In week 1, the activity began with his pantry door swinging open and slamming shut by itself, followed almost immediately by the faint, unsettling sound of a child's toy playing music, even though no one was near it. Weeks passed with smaller disturbances, but by week 8, the activity escalated. A glass suddenly tipped and fell from the counter, shattering across the floor, while the chandelier overhead started to sway and rattle without any draft or reason. The final straw of that night came when a chair slowly dragged itself back from under the dining table, inch by inch, as though someone invisible was pulling it. Despite all of this, the man, whose name is JP, was told it still isn't enough hard evidence for most ghost hunters to intervene. They need more before they'll take on the case. So for now, JP continues to collect footage, hoping that the next clip will finally prove once and for all what he already knows is haunting his home. Two men were exploring what locals claimed to be a haunted facility, and the deeper they went, the heavier the atmosphere became. The silence was thick until suddenly, one of them stopped and pointed. He swore he had just heard a strange noise coming from behind the heavy curtains near the church area of the building.
Oh my god. These things are everywhere. It's cold as hell. No, I hear something. I heard something.
Get out.
They cautiously approached, hearts pounding, and one of them mustered the courage to quickly yank the curtains back. Behind them wasn't anything menacing, but rather an old, dust-covered playroom filled with forgotten toys and faded furniture. They searched it quickly, trying to convince themselves there was nothing sinister about the noise. But just as they were about to leave, something happened that sent them both running. Across the room stood a small toy house, its roof painted pink, with its tiny door left open. Without warning, the door suddenly slammed shut with force, as if someone inside had pushed it closed. The two men didn't wait to see what would happen next. They bolted out of the room and out of the facility entirely, convinced they'd gotten too close to whatever haunted the place. C's Crazy Crossroads, the ghost hunter with nearly 50,000 subscribers who has appeared in past videos, had already been through several terrifying moments earlier that same day at the contractor's haunted house. He'd heard unexplained noises, seen objects move, and felt the kind of chill that tells you something isn't right. By the time of his next clip, you could tell he was still shaken, but determined to keep filming.
I'm glad you guys didn't see that, because it was definitely scary as hell, so. Oh, see, look at that fucking ladder move! I'm telling you, there's something in here. There's something in here. This place is so friggin' creepy, there's something in here. Holy shit! Guys, I don't understand this. Ah! Me!
This time, while searching another part of the house, he came across an old ladder leaning against the wall. At first, it was just part of the clutter, nothing unusual, but as his camera stayed fixed on it, the ladder began to tremble on its own, rattling hard enough that it could have toppled. He froze, audibly nervous, admitting how much it rattled him to see something that heavy moving without a person near it. After everything else that had already happened, this was the moment that pushed his fear through the roof. He said later that it was the closest he'd come to just leaving his gear behind and walking straight out, and viewers could see why. The activity wasn't slowing down at all, but instead, it was escalating. The Paranormies are a group of well-experienced ghost hunters who visit locations and see what they can find. They post their findings onto their YouTube channel so that people like us can see what ghosts are capable of, and it truly is fascinating. In the adventure that I am about to expose you to, they were responding to a scary story of an old friend who may have been part of a homicide in the 1970s. The spooky, abandoned town of Piney is where this took place, and they wanted to investigate the train station first, and weird signs popped up right away.
You can moan for us so we can hear it. You can do it into one of our microphones or into our ear.
Look at this, man. I didn't see over there, but that looks like it's coming down too.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Like what I'm showing, that looks like a TV, the actual part of the TV.
Oh yeah.
All around the station, they were finding appliances such as televisions, stoves, and refrigerators, which was really weird, considering the purpose of the building was supposed to be a transport mechanism. The team theorized that it must have been converted to a storage unit, but as I said, this was just a theory. After coming up with this, they continued their train station adventure without much else to think about. This location had been debunked, but not a house in the town. Next, they all went to the closest house in the abandoned town, and what they found there was much weirder.
Silence.
Really?
Like, I actually heard like a lot of voices, but like then it just would stop for like 10-20 seconds at a time, and then it would just pick up again, which is super weird. So if it's silent in here right now, it could pick up again any second.
You hear that?
Yep. Oh my god. Was that upstairs? No, that's outside.
Holy f, man, it sounded like a piece of the house just busted off.
What? That might have been it, because look at the roof.
Was that a piece of the house or was that you? Oh man, that freaked me out. My hands are shaking. Holy smokes.
There was something standing here, right?
What's that?
You saw it too?
Yeah.
Something was standing right here.
It looked like something was standing right here.
Oh my god.
But I saw it for like a split second.
A thump was heard by the whole group, and it was almost as if a victim of the homicide was still haunting the town. I will continue this story in a future video on the channel. William Davies was winding down in his bedroom when he heard the soft creak of the door moving. At first, he thought it was just a draft, but then it happened again and again. No windows were open and the heating wasn't on. He grabbed his phone and began filming, thinking it might just be a loose hinge or bad alignment.
Whatever that was. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, just move back a bit then. Oh, not amazing. You're too close to the door. Postman? No way. Holy shit. Makes me wonder. Strange. Definitely has something there. About the clock. What? Definitely hearing things. Whoa. Not possible. Some pull on it as well.
In the footage, the bedroom door sways all by itself, as if something is actually in contact with it. As William turns the camera to scan the rest of the room, the cabinet door beside his dresser swings open just as deliberately. There's no sound, no sudden gust, nothing visible that could have triggered it. Afterward, William sits down and replays the clip multiple times, watching how precisely everything moved. The timing feels intentional, like something unseen was reacting to him. He checks the hinges, tests the cabinet, even places items inside to see if anything shifts naturally, but everything stays still until the camera comes back out. That night, he leaves the lights on and tries to sleep with one eye open. The fear isn't from what he saw, but from knowing he didn't imagine it. Something in that room moved, and whatever it was, it knew he was watching. In the following video, Matty was home alone when he heard the bells from the front door ringing. This usually meant that somebody had entered the house, but upon checking, nobody was there, so he assumed it was the wind. However, when he started hearing this again later in the night, he was not going to be as foolish. Matty took his camera this time to capture the phenomenon on camera, and this is what he was able to see.
I don't know what's going on with these dogs, bro. They're scared of something. Yo, I'm telling you, bro, that's the second time I heard those bells, bro. The second time. The second time, I'm home all the alone, bro. Nobody is home. Nobody. No one is home. Nobody is home. And those bells. What's wrong, Petey? What's wrong? What do you see? You see something? You see something over here? I'm telling you, those bells, I heard them twice. What the f*** is going on? Petey! 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 Petey, what's going on? The TV turned on. The TV turned on. Petey, let's go. Go, Petey. Go. Go out. Go out. Go out. Go. Go out. Go out. Go out. Go out. Go out. What the f*** is going on? What the f*** is going on? What the f*** is going? It turned off. It turned off. Lucy, Bentley, let's go. Bentley, get out. Let's go. Tiberius, let's go. Get the f*** out. Get the f*** out. Get the f*** out. Let's go. Tiberius. Lucy. Oh my God. Charlie, let's go. Come on. Come on, who's home? Come on, who's home? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Come on, T. Come on. Lucy.
The chiming bell was definitely not the biggest issue in this house, because from falling objects to a self-activating TV, this place had it all. Experts have no idea why a poltergeist would choose to target Matty, especially considering nobody else, including him, ever noticed something weird inside of the house again. This is one of many big mysteries on this channel that will likely never be solved. The woman in our next clip loved her job as a cleaner at the old church. Every day, she took pride in making the place shine, enjoying the quiet moments among the ancient stone and stained glass windows. But one day, while working late, she suddenly felt an icy chill creeping through the air. Feeling uneasy, she decided to record a video for her friend to show what was happening.
I want to go back there quick.
In the footage, a heavy wooden door slowly moves by itself. She turns around, startled, and screams. After that, she left work early and told her boss she wouldn't be returning. The experience shook her deeply, and the church that once felt like a second home suddenly became a place she wanted to avoid forever. Two kids were messing around in the kitchen one afternoon while their family's Ring doorbell camera picked up everything. They had been watching scary videos earlier and were still hyped up, joking loudly to each other. "I ain't scared of no ghosts." It was all fun and laughter until it wasn't. Just after one of them repeats the line, the door ahead of them slams shut with full force, seemingly out of nowhere. Their faces go from playful to terrified in a heartbeat. They scream, running around in a panic, not knowing whether to open the door or hide. Eventually, they yank it back open and bolt straight through the house, crying as they race down the street to their grandma's place next door. Later that evening, after things calmed down, their parents reviewed the footage. There were no windows open, no fans on, and nothing they could find that would have caused the door to move like that. Everyone agreed it wasn't just wind or coincidence. It felt like a direct response to the kids mocking whatever might be in the house. Since then, they haven't gone back to that kitchen alone, and next time they talk about ghosts, they'll think twice before taunting them. No one in this family ever thought their house was haunted. It was barely 9 years old, and everything about it felt normal, except for one thing. Ever since they were kids, they'd hear the sound of someone digging through their big plastic tub of Lego pieces upstairs. It was the same tub where they used to build bionicles, and the rattling noise it made was loud and unmistakable. But sometimes, that sound would echo through the house when no one was up there.
Yeah, I hear that very loudly. Dude, that is weird. That's loud. That's loud. Yeah, that's very loud. Go in. Come. What's going on now? Shh. There's literally nothing in here. And look how heavy this is. Yeah. Hang on, there's nothing up here. What the crap? There's nothing in here either, look. I could hear it when we got about halfway down the hallway. Yeah, it stopped. As we got closer.
I just heard once. Like I came out and heard like shh. That's all I heard.
Yeah, but we heard it.
We were sitting there. We were sitting there and we heard. You heard it start?
Yeah, we heard it start and it went for like...
How long ago before you got me?
It probably went for about 10 seconds, 10 or 15 seconds.
Let's watch it. Let's watch it. You'll watch it.
So in the recording, you can clearly hear the distinct plastic clatter coming from the closet, like someone sifting through the pieces. The two brothers rush toward it, open the door, and find absolutely nothing. No person, no movement, just an eerie stillness. They figured that was it, just the same weird sound they'd been hearing for years. But when they showed the footage to friends and eventually cast it onto their living room TV, someone caught something that none of them had seen before. In the far back of the closet, a huge bionicle figure they'd built as kids can be seen slowly turning its head right before the clip ends. They raced upstairs to check, and sure enough, the figure was still there. Same pose, same position. The neck joint is stiff, not loose, so it shouldn't have been able to move at all. The family says they've never felt in danger, but ever since that night, none of them go near the closet alone. Kyle Anthony was home alone while his fiancée was out with her sister. At one point, he heard laughter coming from the basement, but it only started the moment he opened the door. The sound was unmistakably like a child laughing, which made him uneasy since he has no kids. He quickly shut the door, still shaken by the strange noise.
All right, I am home alone, and I am hearing a little kid laughing in the basement, and I do not have children. This is freaking me out. Yeah, you do hear it too? Go. Move. They'll try to go down there. Oh God, let's see if we hear it. Goodness gracious. Shit. Do you hear that? Oh my God, that's freaky. I don't have children. I don't have children. And I'm home alone. My fiance just went with her sister to the mall. Don't hear it anymore now. Goodness gracious.
In the footage, as Kyle opens the basement door, the laughter begins suddenly and echoes through the house. Later, he opens the door again, but this time nothing happens. The silence makes the moment even more eerie as he stands there, unsure of what to believe. Left unsettled, Kyle is now trying to figure out what's going on in the basement, so feel free to leave him some form of suggestion for his future in the comments. To call the Midwest ghost hunter a regular on this channel would be a severe understatement, because he appears in at least 98% of my videos. This is because he never fails to provide long compilations of ghostly footage from places he visits, and they seem to get more frightening every single time. In today's video, he was in a haunted theater by himself, and he wanted to gather evidence that this place was as bad as it seemed. This is what he caught.
All right, well, Reverend Henry Doty Maxson. Here is his office. Let's see if anything happens. Reverend. Are you in here? Are you okay with me visiting your office here? That's his old chalkboard right there. And that is his handwriting. They've kept that preserved. That must have been from his last lecture before dying. Father, if you are indeed in here, could you tap on your chalkboard? Make a tapping sound like you're writing on it. I would be amazed if you did that. What the? That sounded like paper being moved. It was on this desk. Like, whoa, you see that? Dude, look at that. That has to be it. Look at that, it's literally hanging off of the table. Look at all the other ones, they're like straight, and then that one is just completely. Henry, did you just move this piece of paper? I wonder what's on this paper anyway. It's more of his writing. Reverend, if you're sitting at your desk right now, could you move something once more? Use whatever energy you need. You can use it for my camera, my voice recorder, whatever you need. All I wish to do is learn from you. Learn about the afterlife. Whoa, I'm feeling like coldness over here. It's like emanating from this desk. I'm gonna get a reading with this.
Strangely, the Reverend decided to move a piece of paper to the edge, despite it being its own preserved piece of writing. This was likely to scare Ian, the ghost hunter, but if that was the goal, then it was a big fail because he was not going to give up on this investigation. So subscribe for more clips inside of this theater in future videos. Mike has always been the kind of person who notices the little things, small movements, changes in sound, anything slightly out of place. Lately though, those little things in his home have been happening far too often for comfort. He says it started with odd sounds at night, but recently the activity has been bold enough to catch in daylight. That's when he decided to start filming, just to have proof of what he was seeing. The footage starts in his dining room, where a wooden chair at the table slides itself just a few inches across the floor. In the second part, the camera is in the kitchen, capturing one of the drawers pulling open slowly and deliberately, as though someone was standing right there. Finally, the third clip shows a wall sticker in his living room peeling away from the surface on its own, curling toward the floor with no one touching it. Mike says all three moments happened within days of each other, and while none of them were violent, the fact that they keep escalating has him wondering just how far this is going to go. Mateo works nights as a security guard at a large hospital, a job that's usually more about patience than action. Most shifts are long stretches of quiet hallways, the occasional patient wandering in confusion, and the hum of fluorescent lights. But he says that over the past few weeks, strange things have been happening, such as unexplained noises, flickering lights, and shadows where there shouldn't be any. That's when he decided to start filming during his rounds, just in case.
Se oye una voz rara aquí como... Uy. Son las domingo. No hay nadie. La silla se mueve sola, se apagaron las luces cuando entré. No hay nadie en el baño.
The footage begins in one of the hospital's empty corridors. A chair sitting against the wall suddenly slides a long distance across the floor, scraping as it moves. Just a second later, something faint and humanoid appears to shift around the corner at the far end of the hall. Mateo immediately rushes over, the camera shaking as he turns the corner, only to find absolutely nothing there. No footsteps, no movement. No sign that anyone had been in the area at all. He says the hospital's night staff have whispered about hauntings for years, but after that encounter, Mateo admits he's starting to believe them. Let's just hope if this place is haunted, the spirit leaves soon. Sarah had just finished putting her daughter to bed and was settling down to watch some TV in the living room. It was a quiet night, the kind where everything feels normal and peaceful. But then, out of nowhere, she heard a familiar sound coming from her daughter's room, a toy starting to play music on its own. Confused and a little uneasy, she grabbed her phone and decided to film what was happening.
If you scare easily, use your discernment, but this is the completely uncut and unfiltered clips that I took tonight after a couple of really weird things happened in my house. My daughter's been asleep for 2 hours. She's all the way over there. How is this standing up perfectly upright and turned on? She can't reach that. Hi, baby. And she's dead asleep when that thing just came on. There's no way.
Sarah cautiously enters the dimly lit room, pointing the camera toward the toy. It's sitting upright on the desk, far out of reach, and playing music by itself. Sarah quickly turns it off, her breath shaky, clearly unsettled by what she just witnessed. Afterwards, Sarah says she's reached out to paranormal experts, hoping they can help explain or put an end to the strange occurrences in her home. She's left wondering if this is just a harmless glitch or something far more unsettling. Around midnight, a family began receiving repeated notifications of movement detected by their security cameras. Concerned, the father immediately checked his phone to see what was causing the alerts. The footage shows a dark, demonic-looking head slowly peeking around a corner. The image is unsettling, and unlike anything they had seen before. Despite the chilling sight, the family remains unsure what to make of it. Some suggest it could be a strange light reflection or a trick of the camera lens, while others worry it might be something far more sinister. For now, the mystery remains unresolved, leaving them on edge and unsure what to expect next. Marco works as a security guard at a local mall and recently started noticing strange motion detections coming from the basement. His boss instructed him to go check it out and bring his camera along, just in case.
Dios. Esto sí que es extraño. Acabo de prender la cámara porque la silla que estaba junto a las otras empezó a moverse. Eran 4 sillas, pero una empezó a moverse. Está detrás de la columna, a tan solo unos metros. No puedo ver. Allí está de nuevo moviéndose de nuevo. No puedo creerlo. Viene hacia mí. Creo que viene hacia mí. Viene hacia mí. Maldita silla. Maldita silla. Se está moviendo. Maldita silla. Estoy atrás de... Atrás de... Atrás de... Atrás de... La caja registradora. No puede ser. Creo que algo extraño sucede aquí. Como un extraño sucede. Otra vez. Otra vez la silla, maldita silla se está moviendo. Se está moviendo, maldita sea. Maldita sea. Maldita sea. Maldita sea. Esa maldita silla se está moviendo de nuevo. Parece que no se queda. Por Dios, esa maldita silla. Esa maldita silla. Creo que voy a llamar al 911. Creo que llamaré al 911.
Down in the dimly lit basement, Marco films as a red chair slowly slides across the floor, inching closer to him on its own. The movement is eerie and completely unexplained. After the clip, Marco admitted feeling shaken, but stayed professional. He's still unsure what caused the chair to move, and plans to report it to his supervisors while staying alert for anything else unusual. The whole experience left him questioning what might really be lurking in the basement. Macchio had recently moved into a new home, still unpacking boxes and adjusting to the unfamiliar surroundings. Despite the excitement of a fresh start, he kept noticing odd things such as small sounds, items slightly out of place, but nothing he could quite explain. One night, just as he was settling into bed, a persistent rustling noise from downstairs caught his attention. Curious and a bit uneasy, he decided to investigate.
Estamos aquí en la funeraria, otra vez. Con ruidos raros. Entonces, pues, está solo. Ahora sí. ¿Cuál pinche que se ve? Que nada. Estoy solo. Estoy solo a la chingada. Estoy solo. A la chingada. A la chingada. A la vez. No mames, no mames, no mames. A la chingada.
As he filmed, several tall, pillar-like objects in the living room suddenly began to collapse one by one, falling with no visible cause or anyone near them. The way they toppled seemed deliberate, as if an unseen force was at work. Macchio quickly realized this was no ordinary disturbance. This had all the hallmarks of a poltergeist. He shared the footage with his followers, explaining that while he hoped it was harmless, the activity was clearly escalating. Since then, he's been researching ways to handle such paranormal presence, considering everything from cleansing rituals to calling in experts. The experience left him cautious but determined to understand what exactly was happening in his new home. Ian, known for his solo explorations of abandoned places, ventured into the backstage area of a long-forgotten theater. The corridors were lined with dusty props and old equipment, remnants of a bygone era. He marveled at the intricate lifts and old beauty mirrors, capturing the eerie beauty of the decaying space. At first, everything seemed calm, the silence only broken by the creaks of the building settling. But then, something weird happened.
Backstage area. I hear that a former costume designer haunts this place. Could you give me a sign of your presence? Oh wow, look at that. That's the underneath of the stage. This looks like where actors would go through. They go through that door right there. And then this looks like some kind of lift or something. If there's anybody over here, could you make a noise for me? Oh my gosh, that scared me. That's just the motion light. Whew. Dang. Hello? Anyone back here? I thought I heard something up there. Hello? Let's go up there and find out what it was.
Faint noises echoed from upstairs, and it was super creepy, considering this was a solo mission. Ian's curiosity piqued, and he decided to investigate further. Subscribe to my channel to see the full clip of his upstairs adventure and to follow his ongoing investigations into the paranormal. A man was out shopping, carrying his dog safely in his arms as he moved through the aisles. Everything seemed normal at first, but then his dog suddenly started squirming, twisting and turning as if desperate to get down. The man was puzzled, but gently tried to calm the dog, thinking it might just be restless. After a few tense moments, the dog finally managed to slip from his hold and land on the floor. What happened next was truly bizarre and unsettling. The video shows something invisible bending the man's finger all the way back in a way that looked painful, but no one or nothing was visibly there to cause it. What makes this especially chilling is that ghost encounters rarely involve physical pain, so for something unseen to cause actual discomfort is frightening and very unusual. The man himself looked shocked and confused, clearly shaken by the experience, and viewers watching the clip have been left wondering what exactly could have caused this strange event in the middle of an otherwise normal shopping trip. Two friends were spending time at a house one of them owned when things started to feel off. One of them mentioned a cold chill, and the other decided to start filming just in case.
Did you just experience something?
Bro, I swear to God, dude, I felt something really cold.
Really?
What? Dude, what the f***? Oh my God.
What the f? Oh shit. Dude, I kid you not, there's like literally nobody in there. What the f, dude?
What follows is a chaotic few seconds. Loads of strange things begin happening rapidly, all on camera, building up to the most shocking moment when two objects fly off the kitchen counter on their own. There's no one else in the house, and nothing around that could have caused it. The owner of the home was left speechless watching it back. This wasn't just creaky floors or strange feelings. Something in the house wanted to make itself known. Yama, a passionate ghost hunter from China, had always chased the thrill of the unexplained. One night, he decided to explore a well-known abandoned house where the previous owner had passed away under unclear circumstances. He brought his camera, as usual, ready to document. While walking through the quiet halls, Yama stepped out of one room, and that's when the tapping began. Rhythmic, deliberate, and coming from behind him. Suddenly, an item launched itself off a shelf and hit the floor hard. Yama rushed back in and searched the entire space, filming every corner. There was no one there. Nothing. He laughed it off in the moment, chalking it up to old wood and imagination, but admits that was the one time he felt like maybe he wasn't alone. Even if he says he's still skeptical, Yama hasn't been back since. Angel Martinez had always been fascinated by the paranormal. Exploring haunted and abandoned places had become a personal hobby, and when he heard stories about an old school at the edge of town, one that had been closed for years and surrounded by rumors of strange activity, he knew he had to see it for himself. On a cloudy night, he showed up with his camera and began filming from the outside. Almost immediately, he noticed something odd. Despite the school being disconnected from any power source, several lights inside were flickering on and off in a pattern that didn't feel random. He stayed outside for a while, trying to make sense of it, but eventually curiosity got the better of him.
Y esta sería la última aula que reviso en el rondín. Ah, como pueden ver, pues está un poco descuidada porque aquí han guardado las cosas que el colegio antes usaba. Escuché algo, pero no sé qué fue. Bueno, fue la 100 puta. Uy, fue la 100 puta. No jodas. Ojalá que lo haya grabado. Ojalá que lo haya grabado.
Once inside, the air was heavy and the silence was sharp. Angel moved carefully through the dusty corridors, speaking softly into the camera as he filmed. Then it happened. A plastic chair in the middle of the room slid across the floor, not once, but twice. First a short scrape, then a sudden, more forceful slide. Angel froze for a moment, disbelief written all over his face, before turning and running out of the building as fast as he could. After the incident, Angel shared the video online, expecting people to dismiss it as fake or exaggerated. Instead, it gained unexpected traction, and many began messaging him about similar stories tied to that same school. While Angel hasn't gone back, he's now considering working with a small team to return and investigate further. A woman on TikTok who goes by the online alias Cello had noticed strange activity from her dog over the past few weeks. It was almost as if it sensed an unearthly presence in the house, and we all know that dogs are great with their senses. Cello took this into account and put great effort into working out what could be triggering this until finally she was exposed to it. Constant knocking, people called her crazy, and all sorts of unkind things, but eventually she proved them out. All wrong with video evidence alongside something else.
Okay, I'm so crazy, right? Here you go. Baby's terrified. Hold on. I know. You're okay. You're okay. I know.
Not only was the dog in discomfort again, but the door was caught opening and closing by itself just shortly after Cello left the camera to film. Of course, the dog chose to be brave and went to investigate, but the reaction from Cello was far different. She refused to go anywhere near the door until someone of high expertise came to check, but due to financial struggles, she is not able to seek professional assistance. In case she sees this, make sure to offer your advice in the comments. The following set of videos were caught in the Netherlands by a woman called Sabia, and her story is truly on the terrifying ends of things. About 3 months ago, Sabia had no belief in the paranormal world whatsoever, but one day, her now ex-boyfriend asked her to visit a haunted location together. Without any fear or second-guessing, she accepted the offer and was excited to laugh at how pathetic the fake hauntings were, and it lived up to her expectations. Whilst there, Sabia didn't become frightened once, and came up with reasons why everything was anything but a ghost. However, little did she know that when the duo arrived home, things would get weird.
Stil. Dat is dat vieze creepy ass keukentje. Kijk, dat bedoel ik dus. Dat is het licht. Vark, kom eens. Dit gaan we doen weer. Zie, er is hier dus. Dit is dus het lichtknopje. Het is helemaal niet. Deze deur is gewoon dicht. Er is hier gewoon echt helemaal niemand. Fuck. Zie je zo'n ding? Kijk. Dat bedoel ik dus. Dat bedoel ik dus. Oh my god. Er is hier echt helemaal niemand. Oh fuck. Nou, dit is het weer, hè?
Sabia's boyfriend at the time was fast asleep, and she saw the door to the room move on its own accord, so decided to get out of bed. Cautiously, she walked around until she saw the light of the kitchen flashing at a consistent basis. Worried, she approached the scene, but nothing was in there, making her go back to bed defeated. After some pondering, she came to the conclusion that her boyfriend was the culprit behind this, and deemed it as a prank. Since she was the one paying the most rent for the household, she told him that he was staying at his dad's tonight, and he listened, so she had it all to herself, which should have resulted in peace and quiet. But unfortunately, this was not the case, and this happened. craziest part about this isn't even what happened, but the fact it proved the innocence of Sabia's boyfriend. The fact the hauntings were so prominent as well, with many items moving on their own, meant that whatever actually was behind all this torment was a powerful thing, and forced her to believe that ghosts were in fact real. Sabia called her boyfriend immediately, who broke up with her for not putting her trust in her, despite how much he denied that he pranked her. This meant the next night was another night alone for her, but without the anticipation of peace and quiet.
Oh. Dat was een stem. Dat was een stem. Oh, Jezus. Wat is dat? Oh, what the fuck, joh.
Again, strange things happened, with the most prominent being the voice that was heard. Sabia had no children, and the voice of a little girl echoed around the house, but at least this let her identify what was actually haunting her. The weird thing was that she had never been in association with somebody of that age, so it couldn't be someone from her life. With no means of true escape, Sabia asked her father, which is ironic considering her boyfriend's situation, to stay over there, and he said yes. Unfortunately, sleep wasn't even possible at his place due to constant notifications from her camera. At almost midnight, the house was going crazy, and it really is saddening to see. I wish Sabia the best of luck in escaping this spirit. A man was in his bedroom late at night when the stillness of the house was broken by unsettling noises. At first, he tried to ignore it, but the sounds persisted, strange enough to make him grab his phone and start filming. He followed the noise out of his room, the camera shaking slightly as he made his way through the dark hallway until he reached the kitchen. That's when it happened. Some form of shadow glided across a row of long, thin objects that were propped up inside, brushing past them with an eerie presence. Just seconds later, they all came crashing down, filling the kitchen with a loud clatter. The man froze, clearly rattled, before quickly backing out of the room. With no one else in the house, and no way to explain how a shadow could physically interact with objects, the moment left him more shaken than ever. It was yet another chilling reminder that he wasn't alone. Rojo, a ghost hunter known for chasing down some of the most unnerving locations, set his sights on a school he strongly suspected was haunted. The building had long been rumored to hold on to dark energy, and he wanted to prove it for himself. With his equipment ready and camera rolling, he stepped inside the empty halls.
Estoy solo, no hay nadie, no hay ningún carro, nomás está la mía. Si vieron, alguien pasó allá. ¿Escucharon? Oigan, miren, no sé si alcancen a ver ahí en la ventana. Ahí, que se vea algo, ¿sí ven? Ven. ¿Sí alcanzan a ver la sombra?
Almost immediately, shadows began appearing, not the kind caused by flickering lights or passing cars, but movements that seemed deliberate and intelligent, which is exactly what you would expect from a spirit. Determined to follow the activity, Rojo moved toward one of the classrooms. After spotting a shadow darting across the doorway, he pushed the door open and stepped inside cautiously. Just as he entered, a chair flew to the floor with force, startling him so badly he almost dropped his camera. The empty classroom was silent again, but the message was clear. Something inside that school did not want him there. The YouTube channel Exploration Unknown, with over 160,000 subscribers, took their audience along for another chilling adventure, this time exploring the haunted house of 7 Islands. Known for its dark history and eerie legends, the house had long been on their list of must-visit places. The team was setting up their equipment when one of them began casually recording an introduction for viewers.
Wow, that is beautiful. Oh, somebody's coming out. No, it's Tim.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you ruined my moonshot, bro. Oh, man. I already got it, though. It's all good. It's beautiful, man. Okay. All right, guys. We've got the K2 meter over here in this window. We're getting things set up. All right. And then in and then here.
As he walked through the house explaining that the team was setting up, the camera panned past the staircase. At that very moment, the shadow of a pair of shadow-looking legs could be seen walking across the top of the stairs, hidden behind the banister. Nobody else was supposed to be upstairs, and the rest of the team were accounted for on the ground floor. The figure never appeared again, but the fleeting shadow was enough to leave the crew and their viewers deeply unsettled. It was one of those moments that couldn't be explained away easily, and for Exploration Unknown, it confirmed that the haunted house of 7 Islands truly lived up to its terrifying reputation. The Japanese YouTube channel Fourth Wall, with over 260,000 subscribers, is well known for capturing unsettling encounters in some of the country's most haunted places. In one of their investigations, the team had been focusing on a room on the upper floor of a notoriously eerie facility, a spot they already suspected was charged with strange energy. Standing outside in the darkness, the cameraman tilted his lens up toward the window, talking about it. But just as he panned the shot back down, something unexpected happened. In the shadows of a doorway, a figure could be seen walking past. At first glance, it looked like a person, but the mannerisms and the way it acted, detached from the environment, made it an evident ghost. Many agreed it was one of the clearest ghostly captures the channel had ever recorded. Daniel Perez had grown used to the strange happenings in his home, but instead of ignoring them, he decided it was time to finally catch something on film. He set up in his kitchen, holding his camera steady as he spoke about the spirit he was certain lived alongside him.
En la cocina me dijeron que cuando vuelva a sentir otra vez ruidos, diga unas palabras para que se vaya. Y bueno, voy a decirlas ahora. Puedes irte de mi casa, tenés las puertas abiertas. Puedes irte de mi casa, tenés las puertas abiertas. Puedes irte de mi casa, tenés las puertas abiertas. Puedes irte de mi casa, tenés las puertas abiertas. Ay, la puta madre. Puedes irte de mi casa, tenés las puertas abiertas. Puedes irte de mi casa, tenés las puertas abiertas. Andate de mi casa.
For a while, nothing happened, just the ordinary quiet of the house. Then, suddenly, a pot was hurled to the floor with force, clattering loudly across the tiles. Daniel jumped at the sound, but kept the camera rolling, determined to show everything as it unfolded. Moments later, one of the kitchen cupboards creaked open by itself, fast and deliberate, as if something unseen wanted to make its presence known. Daniel's clip quickly spread online, with viewers agreeing that it was far too direct to be anything but paranormal. For him, the activity was further proof that his suspicions had been right all along. His home wasn't empty, and the spirit inside clearly wanted attention. An 11-year-old girl had been insisting for weeks that her house was haunted, but her parents brushed it off as imagination. Determined to prove she was right, she waited for the next urge of activity, listening carefully until the familiar sounds returned. Camera in hand, she sprinted upstairs, ready to capture it once and for all.
You know how I told you my house is haunted? Yeah, it's happening. What should I do? Should I go in there? I don't know if I should go in there. That door closed. It's just closed. I'm gonna turn the lights on. It's opening. It's opening. Should I go in there? I'll go in there. Nothing here. Like, what? There's nothing here. What do I do? Like, there's nothing here. But you saw that, so what should I do?
At the top of the landing, she caught clear footage of a door swinging open and slamming shut on its own, over and over, with no one nearby. Nervously, she flicked the light switch on and ran toward the room, pushing the door open to show the empty space behind it. There was nothing inside, no strings, no tricks, just a room that should have been still, but wasn't. For a girl her age, the courage to chase down the activity left viewers stunned, and for her parents, the clip was undeniable proof that she hadn't been making things up. The very next day, the girl's mother was going about her usual routine, still unconvinced, despite the strange footage her daughter had shown her the night before. But while she was tidying up, something caught her eye.
Did you hear that? Whoa. Why
Why is that thing moving? Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay. This side of the basement always freaks me out. Hello? Oh my god. I know, I just stopped that thing.
An underwear hanger nearby began swaying back and forth on its own, slow at first, and then with more force. She stopped what she was doing and went to check it, running her hands along the octopus hanger to show there was nothing that could have been tampering with it. Puzzled, she walked around the room, softly calling out, "Hello," as if testing whether something would answer. When she turned back, the hanger was moving again, just as unnaturally as before. This time, she froze, realizing her daughter might have been telling the truth all along. The family now had more than one strange moment on tape, leaving them questioning what exactly had settled into their home. Ghost Golden Guns was relaxing in front of the TV late one night when that uneasy feeling crept back into the house. Tired of ignoring it, he called out, asking if anyone was there.
Yo, what up? Ghost Golden Guns over here, and I'm going live right now because that's why. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? What the f? What the f? Who is out? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the f? Hello, who is there? Oh my goodness, please stop. What the f? Please stop. Please stop. This is my house. Leave. Leave. This is my house. You're not allowed here. Leave. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Almost immediately, the kitchen beside him erupted with a series of unexplainable noises and movements, far too deliberate to pass off as coincidence. He stood frozen for a moment, the weight of the situation setting in, before finally working up the courage to shout at whatever it was, demanding it to get out. Gathering himself, he walked into the kitchen with his camera still rolling. Just as he thought the activity had calmed, one of the cupboards creaked open on its own. It was the final straw for him that night. Rather than keep pushing, he turned away and decided to go to sleep, hoping that by morning the presence would be gone. For viewers, the video was another chilling sign that something inside his home wasn't finished with him yet. Chris had no doubt his house was haunted after the chilling evidence he caught in a previous video, where a voice had clearly told him to get out. Determined to keep documenting, he began filming again, talking about that experience and how it had changed the way he felt about being in his own home.
You can hear that, can't you? I can. Sound like tapping.
everybody's like, oh, it's the hutch. It's the hutch.
While he was speaking, faint tapping noises began echoing around him. They were well and truly impossible to ignore. Then it happened again. The same unmistakable voice commanding him to get out. Before Chris could even react, something nearby toppled over loudly, cutting through the silence and sending him into panic. In the aftermath of the video, Chris admitted he was more unnerved than ever, convinced the spirit wasn't just trying to make itself known, but actively warning him. He's now torn between continuing to capture proof or taking the voice's message seriously and leaving for good. Martio was spending a quiet evening in his bedroom, his cats curled up beside him, when he suddenly began hearing the sound of things falling somewhere else in the house. At first, he ignored it, hoping it was nothing more than the cats knocking something over earlier, but the noises continued and grew harder to dismiss. After about 20 seconds, he decided to grab his camera and leave the bedroom to see what was happening. As he reached the kitchen, the mess was obvious, as several cups were already scattered across the floor. Just as he was taking it all in, another blue cup fell, though the camera didn't manage to catch it hitting the ground. Marcio could be heard exhaling sharply, clearly shaken by the realization that something unseen was causing the chaos. In the aftermath, he explained that he had no open windows, no pets in the kitchen, and no explanation for why multiple cups would all topple at once. He admitted that he no longer felt safe walking into that room alone and was considering setting up cameras overnight to see what else might happen when he wasn't there to witness it. On May 1st, 2020, at roughly 4:30 in the afternoon, a family's quiet day took a strange turn when their home security cameras caught something they couldn't explain. The family had installed CCTV months earlier, mainly as a precaution after a few break-ins were reported in their neighborhood. For the most part, the cameras never recorded anything out of the ordinary, just kids playing outside, the dog wandering around, or the usual comings and goings of daily life. That is why what they found on this particular recording was so disturbing. In the footage, one of the interior doors slowly swings open on its own, revealing nothing on the other side. There is no person, no pet, and no sign of anyone who could have pushed or pulled it. The incident left the family deeply unsettled. They combed through every second of the recording before and after the event, hoping to find a clue that might explain what happened, but the area behind the door remained empty the entire time. They even checked the hinges and the frame, thinking maybe a draft or uneven flooring could have caused the door to move, but everything was sturdy and intact. Neighbors who saw the clip were just as spooked, pointing out how unnaturally slow and deliberate the movement looked. Since then, the family admitted they no longer feel the same comfort in their own home, describing the experience as a reminder that sometimes the strangest things happen in broad daylight when you least expect it. C's Crazy Crossroads is a YouTube channel run by a ghost hunter with over 50,000 subscribers, known for exploring terrifying locations on his own and sharing the results with his growing audience. In one particular video, he ventured into what's become known locally as the contractor's haunted house, a place so notorious that even seasoned investigators hesitate to step inside. According to him, the energy in the building was overwhelming the moment he entered, like the walls themselves carried a heavy weight of history.
My leg, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. Oh, what the holy... That was up here in the closet. That was right here. That f***ing ball. How did it... Holy shit. How the All right, where am I at? Because I'm not making it. I'm getting the hell out of here. This is not fun. I'm freaking out now because it seems like it's toying with me. Oh man, I'm only at 15 minutes. Oh boy. Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave you there, ball. Don't mess with me. All right. So there's nobody, obviously, in this room. There's nobody in this room. Guys, there's nothing in this house other than whatever friggin' spirit. Nothing in this room.
While filming, a sudden dropping noise caught his attention. He spun around quickly and captured a basketball rolling across the floor, seemingly without any explanation. To make things even stranger, he then walked into the next room and showed viewers the closet where the ball had originally been stored. To ensure transparency, he also panned across the surrounding rooms to prove they were completely empty, ruling out the possibility of someone hiding. The video left many of his fans convinced that he had captured real paranormal activity. C himself admitted afterward that it was one of the most intense solo hunts he had ever done, and the basketball incident was only the beginning of the unsettling things he experienced there. So subscribe, so you don't miss the future ones. Tim Morozov is a ghost hunter with an impressive following of 648,000 subscribers, known for diving headfirst into some of the most unsettling places with very little hesitation. His channel has built a reputation on raw, uncut footage that leaves little room for doubt, and his subscribers love him for it. In one of his more intense uploads, he wrote in the description, "This time, I'm examining the damn house with a poltergeist. This is a terrible night." That set the tone perfectly for what was to come.
Пока никаких показаний нету. Черт возьми. А где он стоял? Ничего нет. Никаких показаний.
As Tim walked carefully through the dark house with his motion detector in hand, a sudden crash echoed through the silence. A piece of pottery had been hurled to the floor. Clearly shaken but still curious, he moved toward the room where the sound came from. The shattered pottery lay scattered on the ground, and Tim decided to test his device, pressing the motion detector directly against it. Strangely, the device didn't beep at all, suggesting that no living presence had caused the violent act. Tracy and her family had long accepted that their house was haunted, but unlike most, they believed they knew the exact source. It all centered around an antique cabinet, a piece passed down from Tracy's late grandmother. While beautiful and valuable, it carried an unsettling presence. Over time, it became clear that whenever strange activity happened in the home, the cabinet was at the center of it, with drawers opening on their own, noises echoing from it, and even sudden cold spots around where it stood. Determined to prove it,
several buildings set alight, really the worst violence that this city has seen for several months. But now it looks like it has calmed for the time being, although you can never discount that the demonstrators are not regrouping in other parts of the city ready to come back. All the while, of course, the debate rages on inside Parliament, the MPs continuing to debate with pretty high tempers, really, over this barrage of austerity and cuts which is to come in this country in return for those all vital bailout funds. We're expecting the vote on the package to come at 1 a.m. local time, that's 2300 GMT, but this is a place where deadlines come and go with remarkable speed, so I wouldn't hold your breath just yet, Fiona.
We had a demonstrator on the telephone earlier saying to us that we've shown these pictures of the violent protesters and sort of concentrating on that. She wanted to make the point that...
As she filmed, one of the cabinet's drawers slowly slid open by itself, and moments later, the drawer next to it followed suit. To dismiss any claims of trickery, she circled the cabinet with her camera, showing there was nobody behind it and no strings or wires attached. For the family, this was the confirmation they needed. They had already been talking about letting the cabinet go, but given its age and value, they didn't want to simply throw it out. Instead, they've been searching for someone willing to buy it, hoping that parting with the cabinet will bring peace to their home once and for all. Until then, the cabinet remains in their possession, and with it, the unsettling activity continues. Diane had lived in her house for years without issue, but lately she had been feeling watched, especially at night. One evening, she noticed what looked like a human shadow lingering outside her front door. Heart racing, she rushed to check, but when she opened the door, the porch was completely empty. Uneasy, she returned inside and decided to film in case it happened again.
There's literally...
Pointing the camera toward the door's frosted window, the blurred outline of a figure could clearly be seen with broad shoulders, a tall stance, and even what looked like a hat perched on its head. Gathering her courage, Diane swung the door open, but once again, there was no one there. The quiet night air was still, leaving her with more questions than answers. Convinced this was something beyond normal explanation, Diane shared the video, and many agreed it had to be paranormal. She admitted afterward that she couldn't shake the image from her mind and feared the figure might return. And the strangest part is that she feels like this might only be the beginning.
Now let's get to the Ring cameras. We have Ring cameras and cameras all around the property and in every room of the house except for our bathrooms. This is what the Ring camera shows when I walked outside, which was 9:50 at night. You'll see the timestamp in just a second. Had we deleted the video, it would not be there. It just doesn't load. We have had this issue with our Ring camera before, but then why did it catch the video after? In case you didn't see, the video after is at 10:23 at night. I initially recorded the video and sent it on Snapchat to my 8 best friends, and then Eddie, and then Joe's actually the one that was like, bro, you need to post this. And I was like, I don't know how Jared would feel about it. Now I'm gonna get into the layout of our home and where it happened and explain why certain things wouldn't work. This is the hallway during the day with maximum light. To show the lights behind me, that is gonna be our hallway to our pantry and our bathroom. This is during the daylight, so when the light would be at maximum, as well as our kitchen, maximum light as well. Along the hallway is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are big stakes, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe. To the front door. I was zoomed in and walking fast. The front of our house where somebody would be. For them to run, where would they have to hide? It goes straight out, guts out. This way, another commercial building, it juts out. They would also have to jump down into this drop of a fence and go that way. All out front, the most someone could have done would have maybe been behind a tree, but we would still have got that on the Ring camera. Also, another Ring camera that would have caught somebody too. To debunk this, I think that the best comment I got in the comments was maybe it was somebody across the street and say someone was in the parking lot and lights were shining on them onto our door. Now that's a big light being shown. I also didn't see anybody, but that to me is the most probable cause. Now let's get to the coat rack to show why that wouldn't work. To those of you saying, oh, the coat rack's reflecting. From what light in here, at any point, you're not able to shine light on the coat rack because our walls are too deep. The coat rack is hidden in the corner. Light cannot shine on the coat rack onto the window because there are no lights here, and these lights do not reach. Too far, too dim, no light in here reaches the coat rack. It is not the coat rack, but I get why y'all would think that because there are hats on the coat rack. Now to those of you who think that we did it, which I can literally assure you we did not, this is gonna be the angle from the living room where you can see that side of the door. Someone's like, oh, they're shining from in there. Well, first we'd have to be on our couch, but look at the way the reflection would be. So if I'm right here and say I'm doing this, it's still not gonna reflect accurately onto the window. It's gonna go beneath, and then you're gonna have a line from the couch. It would have to be like a spotlight. So again, the lighting doesn't work. And please don't start with the staircase because our staircase, our ceilings are like 14-foot ceilings. It would not shine down like that without there being a reflection on the floor. I think that's everything, and I really hope this video doesn't feel rushed. I'm just in the middle of my workday, and I was like, let me go ahead and try to show everyone why this doesn't work. Comment in the comments what else you want to see, if there's anything else you want me to debunk. I still don't know what I saw, okay? A lot of you asked for the house history, house tour. The house history is fascinating. Y'all just comment what y'all want to see.
The basement is the most probable place in anybody's house to succumb to being haunted, so the least thing you would expect is for someone to run there when trying to avoid it. The following video had our victim so desperate for safety, though, that it happened. The time was just 7:30 in the evening, and the man was doing everything you would want to in life, sitting down and planning a lovely holiday to Europe. However, little did he know that this would happen, and he was fortunate enough to be filming the door.
A ještě nie teraz, jak v sobotę. Kurwa mać. Nie mogę połączyć, jak tu wrócić. Chuj.
First of all, he was filming the door because something happened earlier, and immediately after a knock happened on the door, he jumped to action. Straight away, everything in the house became a bubble of the paranormal, and it was way too frightening. So he ran to the basement where the door slammed behind him. The ghost didn't let him out for a solid hour before the door finally gave way, and he was allowed to run from the home. You best believe that place went straight onto the housing market. Danny was doing some important things around the house when suddenly a series of knocking noises started to occur in the bathroom. Out of natural human curiosity, he decided to go and investigate. But little did he know, this was going to be the worst decision of his life. What he initially believed would be a rodent infestation, or something along those lines, quickly appeared to be something far more evil. I think if he got the choice, he would have picked the rodent any day. When he entered the room, the knocking continued, and as suspected, it was coming from the walls. Danny was going to go back to the living room and call the rodent exterminators that he already had on speed dial. But just as he was about to leave, a demonic-looking creature peeked around the curtains. Out of pure shock, Danny ended the video instantly and sprinted his way out of the house before opening his CCTV app. Nothing was in the house.